Good afternoon, everyone. This is Katie Novotny calling in from Premier Marketing. Want to thank you, as always, for taking time out to join us today. We have seen a significant amount of inquiries on critical illness, disability, ancillary products in general are always very popular. But the one thing we wanted to do was we wanted to have one of our carriers discuss the product, the opportunity, but most importantly, the updates. I think that things have changed. There's a lot of enhancements that I feel like a lot of carriers have taken. A lot of people are aware that there are changes, but I don't know that they've gone into the details. So today I'm thrilled to have Jeff and Travis here with us from Assurity. They're going to discuss the updates and big impacts that they have seen on their CI and DI products. With that, you guys ready to take it away?
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Katie, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. As Katie mentioned, Jeff McClendon and Travis Bryan, your Assurity wholesaling team. We're very happy to be in front of you today. And as Katie mentioned, really want to give you updates, kind of what we're seeing in the critical illness and the disability space. These two knuckleheads, I mean, these two young, handsome fellas, Travis and Jeff, are your sales support team here at Assurity. And one of the things that I always like to start off with is there's multiple companies out there, and I'm sure that you have your favorites. Assurity is a company that is very prideful in the fact that not only, Katie, have we been in business over 130 years old, we've been recognized by Newsweek magazine, best in customer service in the financial services industry, but we are a certified B Corporation. And that means a lot to me personally. And what a certified B Corp is, basically Assurity puts the people and the planet community at the same level as we do profit. So in everything that we do here, whether it's the paper we're printing on, the ink we're using, anything like that, we always keep that in mind. And that certified B Corporation is something that we are very, very prideful in. In addition to that, before we kind of dive into the critical illness and disability market and some awesome updates there, I always like to remind advisors out in the field, Assurity has a full portfolio, and as Katie mentioned, starting to see a lot more interest in some of these ancillary products. Assurity has a full portfolio of both life and health products. I know we're focused on the health side today, but it's everything from non-medical instant decision all the way up to your fully underwritten cases. The enhancements that we've made that Travis and I will share with you are to make doing business with us easier. We've increased our limits and just made the overall process much easier. So keep that in mind. Some people think that it's only simplified in non-medical with Assurity, but we do, as an example, on our disability product, do go up to $20,000 a month. So very capable even in the higher amounts. We do have a plethora of resources here that Premier could get you hooked up with. Everything from strategy guides, or as we like to call them, seller's guides, social posts, mobile-friendly quoters and such. So again, we just want to make doing business with us as easy as possible. Going to dive right into, as Katie mentioned, some product updates. Starting off with our flagship product, Century Plus is our traditional long-term disability product. And we'll kind of define the market here, where Assurity is going to fit in with your clients. Generally speaking, we're talking about middle income America, but I would like to further define that and say, 25 to 55 years old, kind of in that range, and incomes up to about 200,000 a year is where you're going to find our sweet spot from a pricing standpoint. Occupations, a list of occupations, and the reason we highlight these are some of the occupations that Assurity kind of assesses differently. Nurses, we consider nurses full-time at 24 hours versus typically in the industry it's going to be 30. Chiropractors, that is a segment of the population. Chiropractors normally are not able to get disability coverage. Assurity is very friendly with chiropractors, and we actually are willing to accept and willing to offer them disability coverage. To finish up this slide down there at the bottom, you'll notice a couple things that we do just to try to enhance our offering. Number one is going to be that multi-life discount. So if you're working with a small business owner, maybe they've got a few employees, and they're looking to provide coverage, disability or critical illness coverage. On the disability side, If you have 3 or more applications that come in by a common employer, we'll give them a 15% discount. And that discount is for the life of the contract, and it is portable. So, one of the employees decides to jump ship, they can take that disability policy with them because it is portable, and that 15% discount continues. In addition, and Travis and I see this on a regular basis, where we'll get a call and there's a new employee that came on board and the business owner is wanting to get them added, wanting to get them some disability coverage. So 15% multi-life discount. And then we also do for small business owners that 20% income enhancer to try to provide them the biggest benefit that we can. A couple of the updates will be highlighted on this slide. And again, Assurity's mentality is we want to make it really easy for you all to do business and to support you with very, very competitive and unique products. So in this example, our Century Plus product does go all the way up to age 60. Pretty typical there. You'll notice that I've highlighted the benefit periods. One of the most recent updates that Katie and I were chatting about is we added the 1 and 2 year benefit plans or benefit periods back into our Century Plus product. So now you have everything from a 1 year all the way up to age 67 benefit. No changes in the elimination period. And then you'll also notice the non-medical. So previous to this update, we were non-medical, non-financial up to $4,000 a month. We've bumped that all the way up to $6,000 a month. So for a client that's looking for $6,000 a month or less in benefit, they can actually pass through, get a non-medical, non-financial offer, meaning we're not asking for tax returns. We're not going after any of that stuff. We're using data that is accessible to Assurity to underwrite. And we not only do it very well, but it is very, very efficient. So this is for W-2 employees up to $6,000 a month, non-med and no financial. I always like to highlight the robustness, if that's a word, of our product. And that is the ability to truly customize it for your client. As an example, the critical illness benefit rider or the ONOC rider, these are features that you can add, benefits that you can add on to your client's coverage. Since they are riders, they do come at an additional cost, but a full plethora of riders that we see coming in. One of the major updates that we made in addition to bumping those limits up to $6,000 a month, and again, we can max out at $20,000 a month in benefit, up to $6,000 as non-med, non-financial. But for newly self-employed individuals, and we're seeing a lot of this coming out of COVID, people that were maybe working their normal 8 to 5, 9 to 5 job, decided to start their own business, kind of take a little detour, if you will, in their professional career. Typically, it's difficult to get them covered because they don't have that long history of income earning as a business owner. We're willing to consider these newly self-employed individuals up to 75% of their annual documented income. And then for those, and farmers always comes to mind in this second bullet point, those self-employed with minimal income. So a lot of farmers that have tremendous revenue that they're generating on their farm, but their income does not reflect it. They're taking very little to no income. And typically that's going to disqualify them from getting any disability benefits. With Assurity, we can give them, it's not a ton, but we can give them up to $1,500 a month in benefit. Another segment of the population that we made an update to, and I'm super happy about this, and that is those professionals that are within, a half year, 180 days of graduation from their residency or accreditation program. So they're eligible for up to $4,000 a month. So these are those students that are at the very end of their college career, their college education, and they're getting ready to get out into the working world. Within 6 months of that, Assurity will offer up to $4,000 a month. I already mentioned that we added those 1 and 2 year benefit plans and the $6,000 a month max. So some really nice updates that we've made to our Century Plus product. So keeping in mind that it is a long-term disability play with Century Plus, for those clients that may have a shorter duration need, we do have an income protection product, a short-term product. It caps out at $1,000 a week. So you'll notice that this product actually pays out weekly. versus Century Plus is on a monthly basis. But you can get an instant decision up to $4,000 a month, non-financial, no non-medical, and it's actually a very, very quick process. This product is really designed for those that are looking for those shorter duration elimination periods. So your 0, 7, and 14-day elimination periods, maybe those that just can't afford to be disabled, they don't have enough money saved up to, to pay their bills or to hold off 30 days. This is a great solution for them. Once again, we have an optional riders that we can add on. The most popular that we see are probably going to be that family care rider, as well as that stay-at-home spouse disability rider. And Travis, I know that you're a big fan of the GIR rider as well. I mean, I think that's really gives the client the ability to add additional coverage, disability coverage, right? Without having to go through full underwriting. And Travis, can you kind of talk about that? What you see, why you would add the GIR?
Yeah, so a lot of times when you're seeing a client that possibly doesn't have the max amount benefit available, they may want to add on this guaranteed insurability rider that at any time should their salary increase, they could be eligible for a larger benefit payment. So having that guaranteed insurability rider allows them to raise that benefit amount without any medical underwriting. So literally they just come back with a new pay stub showing that increase, and then our underwriting team and client services team can go to work and get them that new benefit and let them know what that new premium would be based on that. So guaranteed insurability is just a nice blanket to have, no medical underwriting to get you a larger benefit amount when your salary has increased.
And Travis, it's a rider that's not super expensive. I know I've added it to a number of cases. It doesn't bump that premium up drastically.
Correct.
So
that is correct.
Definitely recommend adding that GIR when it's applicable. Thank you. So long-term, we have short-term solutions. I'm going to touch on another market that we have, graded benefits. So we have let's call it an impaired risk disability product known as our GBDI. This is truly designed for those that cannot get typical disability coverage. We are willing to offer them our graded benefit product. And the beautiful thing about it is very similar to Century Plus, issue ages, benefit amounts, and such. One of the things that I really like about it is the grading is only for the first 2 policy years. So somebody that can't get traditional disability, they apply to Assurity for our graded benefit product. Or if we decline them for a Century Plus, we'll automatically transition them over. But the grading is 35% in policy year 1. It's not claim year. It's policy year 1 and then 70% year 2. So beginning in year 3 and after, it's 100% benefit. Everything's great. So definitely a product that I would keep in your hip pocket, especially if you're a little heavier involved in the disability space and may come across those impaired risk cases or declines. I will share that Assurity actually does get business from other insurance carriers that have declined coverage. They will transition those cases over to us because of this product. So a nice offering that we have. Last but not least, and this is a product that is not only near and dear to my heart from personal experience, but a product that we're seeing some pretty strong growth in, and that is the critical illness space. A little bit of background on it. Critical illness, a product that's been around for a long time, but it's typically sold with 3 main triggers: heart attack, stroke, and cancer. A lot of times you may be able to get it through your employer, but generally speaking, critical illness has been around for quite some time. What we're seeing is with the rising cost of healthcare, which we see every single year when I create presentations, that line is always in there. I mean, everything is getting more expensive. But when you look at the percentage of Americans that have that high deductible healthcare plan, we're now north of 50%, but only about 14% of them actually have an HSA account. So they've got a high deductible plan, but they're not investing in that HSA on the side to help kind of offset some of those expenses. That's where critical illness comes into play. It is a very nice complement to a high deductible healthcare plan. Even though it doesn't pay out monthly, It is a lump sum cash benefit that's paid out. Mortgage protection. It's not a bad solution for mortgage protection. I typically like other products a little bit better, but keep in mind that it does provide that cash benefit. So somebody has a heart attack or a stroke, they're going to be out of work for a little bit, may not have the funds to cover that mortgage. This single premium, if they don't have disability coverage in force, the single payout from the critical illness can help cover that. We also do like it as an alternative to DI coverage for ineligible occupations. So for those people that cannot qualify, as an example, athletes, pilots, flight attendants, some of those occupations that just don't qualify for disability, critical illness is a great solution for them. We offer one streamlined product that is instant decision up to $75,000 of benefit. I will tell you that I think our average case size, I haven't seen the data recently or this year, I should say, but average case size with Assurity is going to be somewhere in that $50,000, $55,000 range. So the majority of our cases that are coming in are getting an instant approval. And when I say instant approval, I'm talking about same day. You can literally go out there and quote, apply, and get an instant decision in the same day with our critical illness and some of our other products. With this, there are 11 covered conditions which we will go over, and they each pay out individually, okay? So there's 11 conditions that pay out individually, and this is guaranteed renewable for life. I'm gonna take a brief pause right there and comment on this. Most critical illness, or a lot of critical illness sold out there, are what I call, temporary products. So when you get up to the age of retirement, your critical illness coverage is no longer. With ours, it is intended to be there for the life of the insured. So what's the likelihood that somebody in their 70s, 80s, even early 90s may have one of these major medical events? It's pretty high. And this product policy can be available to pay out. In addition, the compensation, and I normally don't talk about comp, but I do like to bring it to your attention. There are guaranteed lifetime renewals on our critical illness product. Guaranteed lifetime renewals on this product. Return of premium is built in. ROP, Katie, as you and I have talked many times, Assurity loves the return of premium space, whether it's on the life side or on the health side, as we're talking about today. So we have built in return of premium. Somebody passes away and it's not a covered condition, which I'll go to that screen. We're going to and we haven't paid out anything. We're going to refund all those premiums back to the beneficiary. So you'll notice when you're applying for critical illness coverage with Assurity, we do ask for that beneficiary designation. And that is, we'll refund the premiums back if death occurs and we're not paying out a benefit. In addition, you can add riders to it. The spouse critical illness rider and the child critical illness rider are two very popular ones. So the ability to have a husband and wife and even the children covered under one plan, under one product is riders. And those riders are going to function similar to the base product. With that, Katie, we kind of did a brief overview of the Assurity portfolio on the health side, talked about some updates, some awesome updates, and the ability to get up to $6,000 a month with disability without having to send us tax returns or, do labs and exam. We're definitely seeing an uptick in business. So with that, I would love to see if there's any questions out there, Katie, or if you have any questions for us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, first of all. And we do have some questions that are coming in. Number one is state availability for the mentioned products.
Yep. You're going to find that they are approved in almost every state. New York is a different statutory company, so that's going to be a little bit different. But these products have been on the market for some time and are approved in almost every state.
Perfect. Another one is what is required? Health, life, anything else further in order to sell these products?
So in order to sell the disability, you would have to have your health license and have an active appointment with Assurity.
Do you require AML, or E&O?
We do, yes, that is correct. And when you get contracted with us, we'll shoot you an email that has a link to go out and complete your AML training if you have not done so, but we do require E&O coverage as well.
Perfect. How would you propose this into a business in which we have not offered these? So I guess maybe they're asking for, how would you open the conversation?
Yeah, good conversation starter. And again, we're talking about these small business owners. What I've seen, or what we're seeing here at Assurity, is as the cost of healthcare goes up, providing benefits to employees is getting ridiculously expensive. So I think the approach is going in and saying, hey, I'd like to talk to you about the benefits, any complaints, any questions or concerns that you all have. Most of these small business owners don't realize that they can actually get individual products for their employees. They don't have to go down the route, Katie, of your typical worksite or group coverage. And Assurity works really well in that space. So I think it's looking at the pain points. What are your issues, concerns, with your current coverage? Do you have any interest in providing additional coverage to your employees, whether they are paying for it individually or whether the business is paying for it? And it doesn't matter to us. We're fine either way. But I think that's a good door opener.
I have a couple people asking if we're going to do a copy of the presentation. Yes, we are. And we have some follow-up links that Jeff and Travis had sent over to me. One other question, and Jeff, I'm not sure if we can address this now or later, but what are the top 2 reasons for claim for each of these products?
Yeah, I don't know that I would have a response to that without digging into it.
Yeah, that's something we're going to have to look into. That's not something we would have at the tips of our fingers there.
And so what we'll do is I will send that out along with the follow-up email, kind of giving, and it might not be the top so many, but we can at least give some idea reflecting on that on that question.
Yeah. No, that's a fair question. I don't know if it would be more on I assume it would be more on the sickness side because the product does cover accident and sickness. So I'd be kind of curious to see what we find.
Perfect. Getting some questions about contracting. I actually will reach out to you directly. Another question is, do you have pre-approved marketing material? I'm assuming he means client facing.
So we do. The links that Katie will be sending out to you as a follow-up, those links are for our critical illness and our disability microsites. And they do have the material that's available for that product on there, including videos and some other content. So that is a great resource for you all. And no user ID or passwords required. So you don't have to log into the Assurity site or anything. These links are considered microsites outside of AssureLink. So that would be my best resource.
Perfect. Well, Jeff, Travis, I think we handled it. As always, if there's any questions, please feel free to give us a call here at Premier. You can ask to speak to myself or to Brad. Our 800 number, as a reminder, is 800-365-8208. And you can reach me directly at 226. With that, Jeff, Travis, thank you so very much. And everyone out there, I appreciate the time. And from snowy Nebraska this afternoon, please stay warm out there. And we will talk to each of you soon. Thanks you guys so much.
Bye-bye.